Greetings, and welcome back to the MCOC Encyclopedia. The first idol, Isophyne, has just dropped, so let's see what she can do. As always, we'll be starting off with Realm of Legends before moving into some Act content. Isophyne is an interesting champion. First up, her art is absolutely gorgeous, her crystal block and the way she moves around, phenomenal, so absolute credit to the art team. And she also has this brand new fractured power bar in the bottom left, which lets us throw any special attack as long as we've got enough power for it at any given moment. So here, I'm going to throw the special 1, even though I had 2 bars of power. And this is really powerful, because with Isophyne you want to be throwing lots of special 1s. You can also see in the top left, we are building our ego passives. Those are the things in purple. You gain 2 whenever you cross a bar of power, and you gain 1 whenever you nullify anything off the opponent. They are paused during your special attacks. Nice big special 2 there, 15k, 15k, plus about 50k to 80k special 2 with the crit on the end is not bad. Ego passives not only give extra damage and energy resistance, but on the special 2, they also give extra furies as well, and that is basically where her damage comes from. We throw special 1s to build energy vulnerabilities on the opponent, and you gain 2 energy vulnerabilities if you throw the special 1 whilst you have more than 2 bars of power. And then you cash out with a big special 2. Isophyne also has built-in Mystic Dispersion, so if you are using her against opponents that have lots of buffs, you will be gaining so much extra power. And if they don't have any buffs and you try and trigger a nullify effect on them, then you get a burst of power anyway, which is quite nice. These nullifiers come from her light attacks. It's a 35% chance or a 70% chance if the opponent has a pierce buff on them. Very nice special 2 there from Isophyne. That's pretty much it for Isophyne. There's also a Wither passive on the special 2. The special 3 has some degen on it. But that's the base core of her kit. And it just isn't quite enough, in my opinion. She is one balance pass away from being phenomenal. Let's see where some of her problems lie. Firstly, yes, she does gain extra power from nullifying the opponent, but if, like this ghost, there's a node, the opponent's immune to nullify, that means you can't nullify their buffs, which means that's her main utility is gone. And you also can't gain bursts of power from when you would nullify a buff, because that's how you gain your extra power that way. She also has, to try and sort of balance this out, she has 25% reduced combat power rate, so that's the power you gain from hitting the opponent or being hit. But if you can't nullify the opponent, she is really quite lacking. The energy vulnerabilities are nice, and then when you cash out with a big special 2, it's big, but it's not special in any way. Not really. The damage on the special 2 is nice, but if you compare her to someone like Sunspot, who is basically the same thing, throw special 1s to build, and then throw your special 2 for big damage, you can do a lot better. Here we're in 8.3.6, and remember, 35% chance to nullify on our light attacks. It took us 10 hits to get our first nullification. We can't keep the power gain off Hyperion, and he goes to special 3. Now you might say, okay, well she's got that Wither on her special 2, but Wither is something you want very early on in the fight to control the opponent's power, and putting it on your cash out, that was just me getting intercepted, is a weird design choice in my opinion. You are meant to throw the special 2 to do big damage and end the fight, so why put a piece of utility on it? That just means if you need to control the opponent's power and your nullifiers aren't doing their job, then you've got to throw your special 2. That special 2 there demonstrated another thing about Isophyne. Her crit rate is abysmally low. King Groot has an infamously low crit rate, and at base, without any modifiers, it's about 13%. Isophyne, with the crit stat focus, and with my critical mastery setup, has about 12%. I don't quite understand why her crit rate is so low, and that can make her special 2s really feel like they don't hit very hard. You've put all of this effort in, and then you don't get much out. The energy vulnerabilities are nice, they increase her damage. The ego passives are nice, they increase her damage. The furies you get on the special 2, they are really nice, they increase your damage, and then you throw the special 2, and nothing really happens. It's strange. Her ego passives also expire, it's 3.5 seconds each, but they do take, it's one after the other. So they can go down quite quickly in a matchups where the opponents don't have that many buffs. Here we're in 8.3.6, and up next on this path we have a Red Skull. But as we're going to see, Isophyne, she can't nullify in this fight because Red Skull's immune to it. She has nothing on her heavy attacks, so when Red Skull starts auto-blocking, we can't do anything about that. In this fight, there is just nothing we can do at all. Nothing. We can't parry because of the armor arcs going up. We can't remove the armors. And so I'm not going to make you sit through this whole fight, because what I ended up doing after realizing that we're not going to be going very far in this fight, I quit out. I wasn't recording it. I brought back in null and did it in 47 seconds. Same path, 836. We have a Super Scroll. Super Scroll has a lot of buffs, so this should be one of Isophyne's best matchups. There is no Pierce buff, I'll give you, but, this should be a really good matchup for Isophyne. We are rapidly gaining power, and if you have her awakened, you can also gain power even faster. Just at the start of the fight, you will just gain between 1/3 and 1 bar of power. Very simple. Over, I think, 10 seconds. So we are stacking up our energy vulnerabilities, and they are doing very well. We've got the Falter on us now, which I forget about, but it doesn't matter too much. We're at 3 bars of power. We've been pushed to 3 bars. Oh no, we can just spam special ones. And her Fracture power bar is amazing. That is a fantastic thing. I really like it. So here we're going to take the special 2 in a moment. There we go. Here comes our special. We got a big crit there. That was a 200k special 2. Really nice. When she crits. And getting a crit is really difficult. In terms of strikers, the Scarlet Witch one does very well for Isophyne, because that increases the amount of power you can gain on your bursts. Here we mistime things. The end of this fight is really poor, I'll give you, because now we've got to take an unblockable special 2 here. But we do have some decent energy resistance from all of our ego passives, so with one more special 2, we're going to close out that fight without too many issues. Now, I'm very much of the opinion in this game that you do not have to be great to be good. Is Isophyne a great champion? No. Is Isophyne a good champion? Yes. And if you're a Thronebreaker player that's just got the 7-star, maybe she's your first 7-star, one of your early ones, she will do you very well. We're in 8.3.2 here, and despite the massive lag spike, we throw the special 1 into the block, and then we're going to throw another special 1, because all we need to do in this path is throw our special 1, and then we gain our weapon node, which I'm sure our guides will come on to soon, and then you can throw a big special 2 here, something like this. 250,000, 100k, 150k. And you might say, hey, that's not a bad fight. No, the last hit didn't crit, but it would have been nice if it did, and I'm curious what the damage would have been. Yeah, me too. That was my 10th recording of this fight. I recorded that fight 9 other times, and the special 2 final hit did not crit in a single one of them. So, there you have it. My thoughts and first look at the champion, Isophyne. As I've just said, is she good? Yes. Is she great? No. As an early 7-star, she will do very well, but for those with more developed rosters, I think she will be on the bench. I'm very, very curious to see what the other idols will look like, with their fractured power bars, presumably, as well as other things that they will bring to the table. Hopeful for the future, but for a more developed roster, I don't think Isophyne quite hits the nail on the head. If you have any questions, please do leave them down below, and consider joining the Discord server linked in the description. A great place to get specific advice, make suggestions for future video content, and while I'm awake, I do my best to be there as much as possible. Thank you, and I will see you next time.